Hi friends. Today our topic is depression and how this depression has a connection with medical astrology. So normally what we see in our everyday life, in fact, that maximum of people, not maximum, we give the ratio around 30% people, they are suffering with depression, stress and mental disorder, and in 30% around 15% of the people who belongs to software industry. And there are many reasons of depression, because if we talk about the software industry, there are few companies who are not following the proper culture of the corporate. Due to that, the people are stressed and they are doing they are working 24/7. There are few more people also who are frequently they are engaged with social media, putting lot of posts and just waiting for their likes. And if someone is, their intention is just on their post, that person should come comment and likes, and how many likes are there. So if someone is not going to like, they are going to be depressed. So these are the reason, these cause depression, and it lead to insomnia also, the sleeping disorders. So before we dive into detail that how medical astrology works over here, I want to give you some small description that what are the planets who cause this depression problem. We have three planets. One is Sun and Moon, third is Mercury. Whenever it's afflicted in the house, it would give a kind of problem, where the personality would be lacking, the confidence of the person won't be able to think properly, because Sun is a brain, and Sun is also the significator of the brain. And the first house is in the chart it signifies the problem related to brain, where person need to take the decision and the proper decision making, presence of mind. Like where we need to exactly take the decision from the brain. Now the second is Mercury, the nervous system, fear, wisdom, intellect, and the education also. If the moon is afflicted, then these things are going to be opposite, work in opposite way. The person is going to have a fear, and he won't be able to face the people. And if someone is sitting in the meeting, the native is going to be in absence of mind. So now the third is Moon. When we talk about Moon, then we connect Moon with the chemical reactions of the brain with the Moon. When we see the depression problem, I don't want to dive into detail about the medical problem, what are those chemical reactions, because here we are not going to discuss any medical parameter. So here we just need to know that the chemical reactions, there are few chemicals of the brain. When the Moon is afflicted, they are going to be in such a situation that person won't be able to take the proper decision from the heart. Because see, it's a life. There are few decisions which are supposed to be taken from the heart, and in fact, before taking the decision from the heart, whenever someone is going to propose someone, that decision also going to be taken from the heart. But here also that heart should be well connected with the soul and mind. And the Moon is afflicted, if by chance, then definitely this depression problem cause that this come, and people feel like going to the worst situation. Situation can be worse in such a way that the native can go for the suicidal tendency, and the breakup in the partnership with the spouse and the friends also. So let's discuss this chart. This is the live chart of one of my client. Before we go into the detailed analysis, I want to give you, like, these are the details of that person, of my client. So I was approached in 2017 by my client, and not for this depression problem. He was facing some problem in the terms of professional growth, and he wanted to change the country. But it immediately struck in my mind when I saw his chart, and I forecasted also that that person would face problem during the period of Mercury. So forecast was already done during 2017 along with the solution. But unfortunately the solutions were not followed, and this person, he got suffered very badly, extremely, and he went into the deep depression and was unable to come out of that. He lost his job, and he lost his his wife left him, and there was financial trouble he faced. And again I was approached, but I did nothing. I just gave the advice to follow the same solution which I had given in 2017. So friends, let's start that how we analyze the depression problem in the chart and what are the solutions for that. Number one, Markish, Mercury and five-fold friendship. Let's see the chart. This is a Leo ascendant. In the Leo ascendant, Mercury is making the Markesha, being the lord of the 11th and the 3rd house. Mercury is making the Markesha and placed in the 10th house. And normally whenever Mercury make the Markesh in Leo ascendant, we don't take it seriously, because here Mercury is a friend of the Lord, ascendant Lord, which is Sun. So the problem, Mercury doesn't give any severe problem. Severe problem in the terms of, the complete nervous system failure, the pancreas disorder, skin disorders, eczema and all. So we hardly go into that, So here now we are going to discuss that how the Mercury is going to be afflicted now one by one. So let's go to the second scenario. Mercury with weak Jupiter. If we see this chart, by the trainee astrologer, they would generally say that this Mercury is placed in the quadrant house, and it's in a very beautiful position along with benefic Jupiter, and depository is also Venus. All three are benefic. Then they would like the simple calculation, they would say that this Mercury is going to give very auspicious results. But no, it's not like that, because when we are going to dive into detail analysis, then the situation is totally different. Here the Jupiter, what I have mentioned, that Jupiter is weak. How? In fact, the Jupiter is a key planet for Leo ascendant, being the lord of the trine house, the 5th house. But here, no, it's not going to be a key planet, even being placed in the 10th house, that the house of quadrant. Why? Because Jupiter is placed 6th from its Mool Trikona sign. If we count from here, it's in the 6th position. 6th is the position for health disorders, the health diseases. What kind of diseases? Cough, cold, bronchial troubles, high cholesterol, triglyceride. And this is a house for competition also, job also, profession also, because we consider 6th house for the competition. And it happened also. This native, he suffered with this kind of problem. And also the 6th house, as I told about the education and competition, since he is a software profession, he has a very few courses, but he did not appear for the certification. So that we can say that sixth house is giving the problem. And now if we count from the Pisces sign, that is, this is the third house the Jupiter is placed. Now the third house is for the right ear, and if the Jupiter is afflicted, then the ear problem would be there. So it was also validated that this person has been facing problems since childhood in the right ear. Like once in a year, very small pain and pus formation was there, like for 3-4 days. So this is very much clear that Jupiter is afflicted, and Mercury is also placed with the afflicted Jupiter, and this Jupiter is also going to make markation in its own period and sub periods. Jupiter would give problem related to kidneys. Now let's go to the third point. Third point is Markesh Saturn's aspect on Mercury's sign. So what are the signs which belong to Mercury? Are the Gemini sign and the Virgo sign. But first condition is Markesh Saturn's aspect. Let's see. Here Saturn in the Leo ascendant is making the markation. Even it's Saturn, because since it's a malefic planet and it's placed in the fifth house, that's not a good house for the malefic planet. And from the Capricorn sign, its own sign, it's placed in the 12th house. 12th house is the house for expenditures. Here it's a clear-cut indication that expenditures are going to be more than the income. So, and also what we have said that Saturn is aspecting the sign Gemini and Virgo, Mercury's sign, because Saturn is already making the markation and it's having the aspect on the both the planet. It means not the planet, sorry, on the signs, means it is going to make those signs afflict in the affliction. So let's see. Saturn has a 7th aspect on the Gemini sign. 7th is the place for love and relationship, husband-wife relationship. So it's make the situation worsen. He lost his wife's connection because she left him for the time being. And this is also a house for partnership, friends, peer groups. So native faced problem in this kind of things in the life. And also Saturn is having an aspect on the 10th house, like in the Gemini. The 10th aspect on the in the Virgo. 10th house from Saturn. This is the house for profession. So he lost his job also during this time when the Mercury got started. Now the fourth scenario is Mercury's depositor badly afflicted. Mercury is placed in the 10th house. Its depositor, which is going to be the Lord of the Taurus, is Venus, is badly afflicted. We'll see how. Venus is placed in Cancer sign. Moon is the Lord of the Cancer, and Venus and Moon, they are enemies. So this is the one condition. Second condition is Venus is placed with the debilitated Mars, and Mars and Venus, again they both are enemies. Second condition. And the third is they are in the Papkatri yoga. This Venus is under the influence of Papkatri yoga. What is Papkatri? When any planet has a planets in the 12th house and the 2nd house. So in the 2nd house it's a Ketu, which is the malefic planet. Yeah, the planet should be malefic for the Papkatri. And in the 12th house, Sun is there. So Venus is afflicted very badly, which indicates problem related to sperms, nil sperms, and impotence, sexual disorder. We'll discuss later on that why this happened and like when this is going to happen basically. So okay, we have covered this fifth point also. Now the sixth point is afflicted, debilitated Mars aspects on Moon. As we know that Mars is debilitated and Mars is already afflicted with Venus because both are enemies. Now if we see that Mars eighth aspect on the Moon, since Mars is already afflicted, now if it is aspecting on the Moon, it means that the Moon is also going to lose its power in the eighth house, is placed in sitting in the seventh house, and the same Moon, its Moon is also the Lord of the 12th house. This is not the good scenario. Moon is also placed with Rahu and have an aspect on the ascendant, which is not a good sign, because the first house is the house for brain, decision making, stability, thinking power. So the person is going to lose all these kind of capabilities, the leadership. So in fact the Moon, as we discussed, Moon is the planet where someone take the decision from heart, and the connection between the heart and the mind. So if the Moon is afflicted, in fact the Rahu and Moon is there, in the normal case also these two planets, they cause depression. So this is a clear-cut indication that person is going to be suffer with the depression, and later on insomnia also, if the if he's not going to take the proper solution, astrological or whatever, the way he want. If we see in the first house also, we have 26 points in Ashtaka Varga, less than 27 points if they are in any of the house, means the house has not that good strength. I think we have covered afflicted Moon aspecting ascendant and ascendant Lord. The last point is ascendant Lord and significator Sun afflicted. Here we have two scenarios. One is ascendant Lord and the second one is significator Sun. Let's see. Ascendant Lord is, we need to see the ascendant Lord always when we see this kind of depression problem, where someone is having no leadership quality and the person is behaving very badly, and the person is getting hyper, getting psychic tendencies. So in such case we see the first house, because this is the house for this kind of aspect connections. So the Lord of the first house is Sun, placed in 11th house. In the 11th house also, Ashtaka Varga point is 23, means the house has less strength, and Sun is afflicted by Saturn. In the mythological stories, Saturn is a child of Sun, and whenever Saturn aspects the Sun loses its power. And here the condition is Saturn is making the Markesha, and Sun is afflicted with the Markesha Saturn. So Lagna ascendant is losing its power, means person won't be able to take proper decision, stability of mind, and depression is definitely there. Now the second scenario, first we discussed Lagna ascendant, the second one is significator of the ascendant. Ascendant, the first house significator is Sun. Now we also need to see how the strength of the Sun. In this case, in this scenario, since it's a Leo ascendant, so Lagna ascendant is also Sun, and the same with significator. So significator is placed in the 11th house, the same scenario which we repeated just now. So friend, these are the scenarios in astrological, that how we analyze this kind of problem. And now the part comes for the solution. We have mentioned, as per my experience, what I did, I empowered his Sun, because Sun was too weak, and also I empowered his Moon. So I empowered both the planet. For the sun, I recommended ruby gemstone, and for the moon, pearl, moti. Why pearl? I know many of you would have questioned that here moon is placed in the 7th house, being the lord of the 12th house, and in Vedic books also mention such kind of scenarios. The planets who are placed in 6th, 8th, 12th house, and in fact the planets who are the lord of these houses, we are not supposed to wear gemstone of those planets. But these are the basics. We have a lot of exceptions. What we would do, we would come with this topic separately, because this is a huge topic. But here we recommended moon, pearl, and pranayam also, so that the oxygen, the person should inhale the proper oxygen, their brain should have the proper oxygen. So these 3 solutions were there, and after these 3 solutions, in 4 months situation was normal, and now this person is living a normal life. And rather, I should say, it's his luck that his wife came back, and now he has a very good relationship with his peers, partners. He got his job back. He's appearing for the competitive exams now. Now again I am going to discuss that what can happen in near future with this due to this malefic Mercury. Here I am forecasting few things about this chart. Mercury, Venus period in Mercury, that's going to start in 2022. Venus, as we discussed, it's badly afflicted in this chart. We have mentioned that how this Venus is afflicted, and this house is for the 12th house is for bad also. Bad sexual pleasure, sexual disorders, urine disorder, impotence, agiospermia, nil sperms. So once this Venus is going to be there in 2022, this person is going to face all these kind of problem along with spine disorder. Solution: if we follow the Vedic solution, then only he would face few problem, very few problem, like he can face urine disorder once in a 6 months. So this period would be for 2 years. So 4 times in 2 years, this disorder it's just nothing basically, if we compare the problem with these kind of chronic disorders. The second is Jupiter's sub period in 2030. He would lose his kidneys. Again, his kidneys can be survived, but again in that 2.5 year period, his creatinine is going to be up and down. So these are the worst sub period under the Mercury. Now if we talk about agiospermia, it's a huge topic. And in the agiospermia, still we have no solution in the medical science. In fact, Ayurveda is failed in 99% of cases. But here in the medical astrology, whenever we analyze the chart, then we find out the past connection with agiospermia, that why this happened, because of the past karmas, and what would be the solution as an individual case. So friends, very soon I would come with this agiospermia with few of cases of my clients, and how we provide them solutions, and they got cured completely, and they are living the normal life, and they have babies now. So till then, thank you very much, and Bande Mataram.